now and he got a bunch of new orders.
Oh, why, if this keeps up, I suppose you'll be opening a store.
Yeah, that's what Ed was saying last night. But I said no. I want to be a dancer.
Well, the only problem with dancing is it takes so long. You've been studying for such a long time.
Only 8 years. After all, you've been writing plays for 8 years, Mother. We started about the same time, didn't we?
Well, yes, but you couldn't count the first 2 years because I was learning to type.
I think the candy's hard enough now. Oh, thanks, Rita. Oh, I'll bring some in, Mother. I want you to try some. You finished the second act, Miss Sycamore?
What, Rita?
I said you finished the second act.
No, I've just got Cynthia entering the monastery.
She was at the Kit Kat, wasn't she?
She got tired of the Kit Kat Club, and there's this monastery, so she goes there.
And they let her in?
I made it Visitor's Day, so of course anyone can come.
Oh.
Yeah, so she arrives on Visitor's Day, and then she just stays.
You mean she stays all night?
Oh yeah, she stays for 6 years.
6 years? My, she must bust that monastery wide open.
6 years later.
Mr. DePinna!
Yeah?
Mr. DePinna, would you bring up one of those new skyrockets, please? I want to show them Mrs. Sycamore.
Sure.
Look at these new little firecrackers we just made, Penny. We can sell them 10 strings for a cent. Listen to this. I promise. Nice, huh?
Yes. Oh, dear. Were you ever in a monastery?
No, I wasn't. Wait until you see the new rockets. We've got gold stars, we've got blue stars, a bomb, and then a balloon.
Oh.
It was Mr. DePinna's idea for the balloon.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Did you make all those today?
Yeah, we sure did. We made up a whole bunch.
Oh.
Let's see if we got it. Mr. DePinna. Look, Penny. Only costs us 18 cents to make, and we can sell them for 50. How many more do you think we can make before the 4th?
We've got 2 weeks yet. When are you going to take them up to Mount Vernon?
Next week. We're going to need a much bigger booth this year because we made up an awful lot more stuff. And we're not done, so come
Well,
on.
Mr. Sycamore, wait a minute. I'm afraid that the powder chamber is a little too close to the balloon.
Well, we've got the bombs and the balloon, or the bombs and the stars in between.
Well, but a balloon needs plenty of time. Lots of time.
All right, well, let's go down to the cellar and test it out.
All right.
Mr. DePinna, if a girl you loved entered a monastery, what would you do?
Oh, I don't know. It's been so long.
Alice gonna be home for dinner tonight, Miss Sycamore?
I don't know.
Well, I'll set a place for her. In the last week, she's only been home one night.
Oh, yes, I know.
Effie's doing something new with Candy's back there. I think she's using coconuts.
That's nice.
Let's see. I'm set for 6, and if Mr. DePinna comes and Mr. Collin calls, I'll set for 8. Right? You think 8?
I think I'm going to go back to the war play, Reba.
The war play, I always like that one. Boom, boom. They'll be better when they're harder, Mother, but try one. I want to know what you think.
They look lovely. What do you call them?
Oh, I think I'll call them Love Dreams.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm going back to the war play, Essie. What do you think?
Oh, are you, Mother?
I seem to have gotten myself into a monastery and I can't get out.
It'll come to you, Mother. You remember how you got out of that brothel? Hey, the snakes look hungry, Mother. Has anyone fed them?
I don't know. Reba, has anyone fed the snakes today?
No, Grandma's coming later. He's bringing flies with him.
Well, make sure someone feeds them before Grandpa gets home. You know how fussy he is.
You bet.
I think, would you mind taking us into the Thank you. I think I'll have another love dream.
Well, Mr. DePinna was right about the bloom. It was way too close to the powder.
Oh, would you care for a love dream, Father? They're on the table.
Oh, no thanks. I've got to wash.
I'm going back to the war play, Paul.
Oh, well, that's nice. We're going to put red stars in between the bomb and the balloon. That ought to do it.
You know, Mr. Kalakov says I'm his most promising pupil.
You know, with 40 months and one girl, you'd think that something would happen.
Hey, Essie.
Oh, hey. I like that, Ed. Did you write it?
No, Beethoven.
Well, it's lovely. It's got a lot of you in it. Oh, hey, I made those new candies this afternoon, Ed.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you can take them around tonight.
Oh, now this is the big finish. This is me.
That was fine, Ed. Hey, remember it for when Kalinkoff comes, will you?
Got it.
Ed, dear, I think you and Essie, why don't you and Essie have a baby? I was thinking about it just the other day.
I don't know. We could have one if you wanted us to. How about it, Essie? You want to have a baby?
Oh, I don't care. I'm willing if Grandpa is.
Let's see. Labor play, religious play, sex play. I know it's here somewhere.
I was right about the balloon. It was way too close to the powder.
Anything you want printed, Mr. DePinna? How about some more calling cards?
I've still got the first 1,000.
Well, call on somebody, will you? Oh, Reba, what are we having for dinner tonight? I'm ready to print up the menus.
Let's see. Cornflakes, tomatoes, some of the candy Essie's making, and some type of meat, I forget.
I think I'll print it up in a bold-faced Cheltenham tonight. If I'm going to take some candies around after dinner, I better print up some descriptive material.
Do you think anybody reads that, Ed? The stuff you put in the candy boxes? Oh. Oh, here it is.
I'll get it.
Poison gas. That must be Donald. Look at Reba smile.
The boyfriend, eh, Reba?
They're awful cute, Donald and Reba. Kind of like Blondie and Dagwood.
Hello, Reba.
Donald.
Good evening, everyone.
Well, hi, Donald. How are you?
I'm very fine, Ed. How are you, Mr. Cole?
Oh, very well, Donald. Donald,
Yes, ma'am?
you're in a monastery?
No, not really. I don't really go out that much. Now I'm on government relief.
Yes, of course.
Reba, I got a mess of flies today.
You sure did.
I see you've been working, Mr. Cole.
Oh, yes, indeed, Donald.
How is Grandpa?
Oh, he's just fine. He's up at Columbia this afternoon, you know, commencement exercises.
Yeah, honey, yes, the robot, huh?
What's he go there for all the time, Penny?
I don't know. It's just so handy, right around the corner.
Oh, Donald. Mr. DePinna and I, we're going to take the fireworks up to Mount Vernon next week. Do you think you could give a hand?
Yes, sir. But, you know, I can't collect the money this year because the government finds out it will be solved.
Oh. Hey, Ed. I had a wonderful idea in the bathroom just now. I was reading Trotsky. It's yours, isn't it?
Yeah, I left it there.
Who?
Well, Trotsky, you know, the Russian Revolution. Anyway, it struck me as a great fireworks idea. Do you remember the last days of Pompeii?
Oh, yes. Remember that was the Palisades Park. That's where we met.
Well, anyway, I want to do the entire revolution. A full hour display.
Say,
It's wonderful.
so the red fire is the flag, huh?
Yeah, and the Tsars and the Cossacks.
And back on the Red Sea?
No, Donald, the Russian Revolution. Oh, hello, Grandpa.
Yes, sir. You should have been there. That's all I can say.
It should have been.
Is it a nice commencement, Grandpa?
Wonderful. They get better every year. how lucky you are to be snakes.
Big class this year, Grandpa? How many were there?
Oh, I'd say about 2 acres. Yes, sir. Everybody graduated. Much funnier speeches this year, too.
Come on, listen to a good speech. You go listen to FDR.
I'll wait. They'll have them at Columbia one day.
Donald, would you go tell Reba that Grandpa's home and we won't wait for Alice?
Yes, ma'am. Reba, Grandpa is home. We can have dinner now.
We made a new skyrocket today, Grandpa. Wait until you see it.
Good evening, Grandpa.
Good evening, Mr. Dependent.
Did we make a great skyrocket?
Yeah, we
Mr.
certainly did.
Hey, I wonder why they don't have fireworks at commencements.
Don't make enough noise. Now, you take a good commencement order and he'll drown out a whole carload of fireworks. Say just as much, too.
Don't the graduates ever say anything, Grandpa?
No, they just sit there in their caps and their nightgowns. They get their diplomas, then, along about 40 years later, they suddenly say, "Where am I?"
Grandpa, have a nice day.
Well, hello, Grandpa, have a nice day. Don't I even get kissed?
Excuse me, Grandpa.
I'll take a tomato, too.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I could have used a couple of these this afternoon.
Father?
No thanks.
Mother? No, thank you, dear.
Play something, Ed.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, Grandpa, there was a letter that came for you. Did you get it?
Letter for me? I don't know anybody.
Well, it was for you, though. It had your name on it.
That's funny. Where is it?
I don't know. Where's Grandpa's letter, Mother? What? Where's the letter that came for Grandpa last week? Oh, I don't know. I think I saw the kitten sitting on it. Huh.
Who's it from? Did you notice?
Oh, yes, it was on the outside.
Well, who was it?
The United States government.
Really? Well, wonder what they wanted.
You know, there was one before that, too, from the same people. Actually, there were a couple of them.
If any more come, I wish you'd give them to me.
Yes, Grandpa.
You know, I think next week I'm going to go out to Westchester and do a little snake hunting.
God is the state is God.
What's that?
God is the state is God.
Who says that?
Trotsky.
Oh, that's all right then. I thought you said it.
Good for printing. Nice and short.
G-O-D-S-T-H-E.
And so the beautiful princess came to the palace and kissed her grandfather.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Grandpa. And her father. And her mother. And what do you think? They turned into the Sycamore family. Surprise.
Oh, Alice! Oh, I like that! Do you? Yeah, it's new, isn't it? It looks nice and summery. Where'd you get it?
I took a walk during lunch hour.
You've been taking a lot of walks lately. That's the second new dress this week.
I just like to brighten up the office once in a while. I'm known as the Joan Crawford of Kirby & Co. Well, what's new around here? In the way of plays and ballet dancing, snakes and fireworks. Dad, I bet you've been down in that cellar all day.
Huh?
I'm going back to the war play, Alice.
Really, Mother?
Oh, and play Alice that Beethoven thing you wrote.
You know, you can send a whole bundle of letters all the way from Nicaragua now for 2 pesetos.
Really?
Kenneth, my virginity is a priceless thing to me.
Listen, people, listen. I won't be home to dinner tonight, and a young gentleman is calling for me.
Oh, really? Who is it?
I tried everything possible to keep him from coming, but he's calling for me.
Oh, well, why don't you both stay to dinner?
No, I want him to take you in easy doses. I've tried to prepare him a little bit, but don't make it any worse than you can help. Don't read him any plays, Mother, and Don't let a snake bite him, Grandpa, because I like him. And I wouldn't dance for him, Essie, because we're going to the Monte Carlo Ballet tonight.
Can't do anything. Who is he, the President of the United States?
No, he's Vice President of Kirby & Co., Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr.
Oh,
The boss's son, just like the movies.
That explains the new dresses.
And not being home to dinner for 3 weeks.
Why, Sherlock Holmes.
Are you going to marry them?
Well, of course, tonight. Meanwhile, I have to run upstairs and put on my wedding dress.
Is he good looking?
Well, in a word, yes. Oh, dear, what time is it?
I don't know. Does anybody know what time it is?
Mr. DePena might know.
It was about 5 o'clock a couple hours ago.
Ought to know better than to ask you people. Will you let me know the minute he comes, please?
Of course, dear.
But I mean the minute he comes.
Well, yes, of course.
Well, be sure.
She seems to like him, if you ask me.
Well, I should say so. She's got her pay. Oh, wouldn't it be wonderful if she did marry him? We could have a wedding right here in this room.
And it's the first time he's ever called on the girl.
Oh, well, you only called on me once.
Young people are different nowadays.
Oh, I don't know. Look at Anthony. He came to dinner once and just stayed.
Anyway, I think it's wonderful, don't you, Grandpa?
She certainly seems happy about it.
He must really be crazy about her. I'm taking her out to dinner every night this week. Oh, that must be him. I'll get it. Oh, now, remember what Alice said. We all must be very nice to him.
All right, let's take a look at it.
Wow! Do come in. Welcome to our little home. Now, I'm Alice's mother, and this is Grandpa, and Alice's father, Mr. Seymour, and her sister Essie, and Essie's husband, Ed Carmichael. Now, give me your hat and make yourself right at home.
I'm afraid you must be making a mistake.
How's that?
My card.
Oh, Wilbur C. Henderson, Internal Revenue Department?
That's right.
What can we do for you?
Does a Mr. Martin Vanderhoff live here?
Well, yes, sir, that's me.
Well, Mr. Vanderhoff, the government wants to talk to you about a little matter of income tax.
Income tax.
Oh,
Do you mind if I sit down?
no, you just go right ahead.
Thank you.
Mother, is that Mr. Kirby?
No, it isn't, dear. It's, internal something or other. Excuse me.
Mr. Sycamore. Oh, excuse me.
What is it?
These things aren't going.
No, not in here, Mr. DePena. Grandpa's busy. Pardon me.
Mr. Vanderhoff, we've written you several letters about this, but we've not had any reply.
Oh, that's what those letters were about.
I told her they were from the government.
According to our records, Mr. Vanderhoff, you have never paid an income tax.
That's right.
Why not?
I don't believe in it.
Well, you own property, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And you receive a yearly income from it
I do.
of between $3,000 and $4,000.
About that.
You've been receiving it for years.
I have. Since 1901, if you want the exact date.
The government is concerned only from 1914 on. That's when the income tax started.
Ah. Well,
Well, it seems that you owe the government 24 years back income tax.
Now, wait a minute. You can't go back that far. That's outlaw.
Oh, what's your name?
What difference does that make?
Ever file an income tax return?
No, sir.
And what was your income last year?
$28.50. Right, Essie?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Vanderhoff, you must know that there is a penalty for not filing an income tax return.
Penalty?
Mr. Henderson, may I ask you something?
Well,
Well, suppose I pay you this money. Now, mind you, I'm not saying I'm going to pay it, but just for argument's sake, what's the government going to do with it?
how do you mean?
Well, what do I get for my money? Now, if I go into Macy's and I buy something, there it is, I see it. What's the government give me?
Well, the government gives you everything. It protects you.
What from?
Invasion, foreigners who might come over here and take everything you've got.
I don't think they're going to do that.
Oh, if you didn't pay your income tax, they would. How do you think the government keeps up the Army and Navy? All those battleships.
Battleships? Why, we haven't used a battleship since the Spanish-American War. And what did we get for that? Cuba. And we gave that right back. I wouldn't mind paying if it was something sensible.
Sensible? What about Congress and the Supreme Court and the President? We've got to pay them, don't we?
Not with my money, no sir.
I didn't come here to argue with you. All I know is that you haven't paid an income tax, and you've got to pay it.
They've got to show me.
No, they don't have to show you. I just told you. All those buildings down in Washington, and interstate commerce, and the Constitution.
Oh, the Constitution was paid for a long time ago. And interstate, say, just what is interstate commerce anyhow?
There are 48 states, see, and if you don't have interstate commerce, then nothing could go from one to the other, see?
Why not? They got fences?
No, they haven't got fences, they got laws. I've never come across anything like this before.
I might be willing to pay, $75, but that's all it's worth.
You'll pay every cent of it, just like everybody else.
Listen, Essie, listen to this.
Let me tell you something else. You'll go to jail if you don't pay. That's the law. And if you think you're bigger than the law, then you've got another thing coming. You're no better than anybody else, and as soon as you get that through your head, the better. You'll hear from the United States government. That's all I can say.
How was that?
How'd that sound to you folks? I liked it.
My goodness, he was mad, wasn't he?
Oh, it's not his fault. It's just this whole thing is so silly.
Oh, he forgot his hat.
Oh, say, what size is that hat?
78.
Just right for me.
Well, who was that fellow anyway?
Oh, this must be Mr. Kirby.
You gotta make sure this
I
time.
will. Oh, I hope he's good looking this time. How do you do?
Good evening.
Is this Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr.?
Yes.
Oh, do come in, Mr. Kirby. We've been expecting you. Come right in. Oh, this really is Mr. Kirby. Now, I'm Alice's mother, and this is Alice's sister Essie, and Grandpa, and Alice's father, Mr. Sycamore, and Essie's husband, Mr. Carmichael. Now you know all of us. Your hat, and make yourself right at home.
Thank you, thank you.
Oh,
Is that Mr. Kirby, Mother?
yes, it is, dear, and he's lovely.
I'll be right down.
Please have a seat, Mr. Kirby.
Thank you. Well, I do hope that I'm not keeping you all from dinner.
Not at all. I have a tomato.
Would you like a piece of cake?
No, thank you.
Oh,
How do you do?
You do. Wasn't I reading in the newspaper the other day that your father got indicted for something?
Hardly that. He just testified before the Securities Commission.
Oh,
Yes, of course. See, Mr. DePena, I'm sure it's nothing crooked. As a matter of fact, Alice is always telling us what a lovely man your father is.
Oh, well, Father couldn't get along without Alice, so she knows the company better than anybody.
Oh, you're awful young, aren't you, Mr. Kirby? To be vice president of a big place like that.
Well, you know what that means. A vice president, basically I just have a desk with my name on it.
That's it? You don't get a salary?
A little, more than I'm worth, I'm afraid.
Oh, now you're just being modest, Mr. Kirby.
Seems kind of dull to me. Wall Street, do you like it?
I mean, the hours are short, and I haven't been there very long.
Oh, straight out of college, huh?
Yeah, I just stalked around for a while, just sort of had fun.
What did you do, travel?
For a while. Oh, then I went to Cambridge.
England.
That's right.
Say, did you see any English commencements while you were there? What are they like?
They're very impressive.
They are. Huh.
But anyway, now the fun is over, and I'm facing the world.
Oh, well, you're off to a great start, Mr. Kirby. Vice president and a rich father.
Well, that is hardly my fault.
So now I suppose you're ready to settle down and get married.
Well, Penny, I'm sure Mr. Kirby knows his own mind.
I wasn't trying to make up his mind for it, was I, Mr. Kirby?
It's quite all right, Mrs. Sycamore.
See? Now you mustn't rush him, Mother. Oh, now all I meant was he's bound to get married, and suppose the wrong girl gets him.
Well, here I am, a vision in blue. Surely you've all had enough time to get acquainted.
Oh, why, yes, we've been having a lovely conversation about love and marriage.
Dear, I'm sorry, I came in as fast as I could.
I didn't mind in the slightest.
Are those flies in the kitchen? Oh, Alice, you look beautiful. Where you going?
Going out, Reba.
Stepping, huh?
You better go, Tony.
I'm all right.
Grandpa, you say cream on your cornflakes? I forget.
Half and half, Donald.
Ah, my little Rabishka! Good evening, everybody. Grandpa, what do you think? I've had a letter from Russia. This second 5-year plan is a failure.
I practiced today, Mr. Klenkov.
Oh, my Pavlova! Alice! Never have I seen you look so magnificent.
Thank you, Mr. Klenkov. Tony, this is Mr. Klenkov, Essie's dancing teacher, Mr. Kirby.
How do you do?
How do you do?
You'll excuse us, Mr. Klenkov. We're going to the Monte Carlo Ballet.
The Monte Carlo Ballet! It stinks.
Well, goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. I am so happy to have met all of you.
Monte Carlo Ballet!
Mr. Kirby, wonderful. Come on, everyone, dinner.
I thought he was a nice fellow, didn't you?
That's so good looking, too. Oh, and such nice manners. Did you notice, Paul? Did you notice his manners?
Yes, I certainly did. I noticed you were getting quite personal with him.
Oh, now, Paul. Anyway, I think he's a very nice young man.
Yeah, he looks like my cousin.
Box Diablo, if then you had ballet!
Oh, I think if you did get married here, I would put the altar right here where the snakes are. You wouldn't mind, would you, Grandpa?
Not if the snakes don't.
Oh, no. They'll want to get married in a church.
Oh, I like the church way.
All right, everybody. All right. Quiet. Well, sir, things have been going along pretty well now for a long time. Remember, all we ask is to go along in our own way and be happy. Of course, we'd like to keep our health, but as far as anything else is concerned, we'll leave it up to you. Thank you. So, the second 5-year plan is a failure, huh?
Catastrophic! Wait until the time the firefighter starts.
Alice, marrying a Kirby.
marvelous. I can see the dance every night of the week.
They are, aren't they? Of course, just walking into any theater gives me a thrill.
Oh, it's been so lovely, Tony. I hate to have it over.
Oh, I mean, is it over? Do I have to go right now?
No, you don't want to.
I don't.
Would you care for a drink?
That sounds wonderful.
I'll go see what's in the icebox. Want to come along?
I would follow you to the ends of the earth.
Oh, just to the kitchen is enough.
Yeah.
Well, good thing you're not hungry, Mr. K. An icebox full of cornflakes. That gives your rough idea of the Sycamore household.
It's all right. Say, when do you take your vacation?
Last 2 weeks in August.
Think I might take mine then too?
Really?
Well, what are you planning to do?
I don't know. I haven't thought much about it.
Go away, do you think?
I might, but I like the city in the summertime.
So do I.
But you usually go to Maine, don't you?
That's right. Although, I'm sure that I would love the city in the summertime, you know, if I would, you know what I'm trying to say, I mean, I would love it if you were there.
Oh, I'd love it if you were here, Tony.
You know what you're saying, don't you?
What?
That you'd rather spend the summer with me than anybody else.
Did I say that?
In not so many words. And if that's how you feel about the summer, then how about the winter?
Yes, I like that too.
Then there is the spring, and there's the fall, if you can find your way around those, Miss Sycamore.
I might.
I guess that's the whole year. We haven't missed anything, have we?
No.
Well then.
Is that you, Alice? What time is it? Oh, excuse me, Mr. Kirby. I didn't mean to interrupt anything.
That's quite all right.
I just came down for one of my manuscripts, and then you can go right on. Let's see. Oh, here it is. It's a holiday. Good night, Tony.
Good night, Mrs. Sycamore.
I think you can call me Penny. Don't you, Alice? At least I hope so.
Good night. What was that?
Don't worry, Tony. That was just father.
Oh, at this time of night?
Any time of night, any time of day.
All right, she can't dance. That's why they pay her all that money, because she can't dance.
Well, I don't call it dancing what she does. Oh. Hello. How was the ballet?
It was fine, Essie.
Wonderful. Hello there. Good evening.
What do you people think? Ed and I just saw Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. What do you think, Mr. Kirby? Do you think she can dance?
Why, yes, I have always thought so.
Well, what does she do anyhow? Look, you're Fred Astaire, right? And I'm Ginger Rogers.
Essie, please.
Now, I only want to use it for a minute, Alice. Now, look, Mr. Kirby.
Essie, you're just as good as Ginger Rogers, and we all agree.
Easy, Ed.
Yeah, come on, Essie. Button in here.
Aw, they've been together all evening. Good night, Mr. Kirby.
Good night, Mrs. Carmichael.
Good night, Alice.
Good night. Essie, did you ask Grandpa about us having a date?
Oh, yeah, he said go right ahead.
Now you see, that's what it would feel like.
I didn't mind that. And besides, we're not going to live with your family. It's just going to be you and I.
No, it isn't. It's never quite that. Some people could break away, but I can't.
Well, you're talking as though only you could understand them. And that is not true. I mean, every family has their curious little traits. I mean, even mine.
We'll take Grandpa, for example. 35 years ago, he just quit business one day. He went right up in an elevator to his office and then came right back down. He just stopped. He could have been a rich man, but he said it took too much time. And so for 35 years, he's just collected snakes and gone to circuses and commencements.
Hello there, children.
Good evening, Mr. Vanderhoff.
Hello, Grandpa.
How's the weather? Seems like a nice summer evening.
Yes, it's lovely, Grandpa.
Well, I'm off. Bye, Mr. Kirby. Gotta meet the policeman on the corner.
Policeman?
Oh, yes, we have a standing date every night at 12:30. He's really not a policeman. He wanted always to be a doctor. then, when he graduated, he decided he did want to be a policeman. And so I said to him, if you want to be a policeman, you go right ahead and be a policeman. And that's what he did. Say, how do you like my new hat?
It's very nice, Mr. Vanderhoff.
Yeah, I like it. Government gave it to me.
Excuse me, I didn't know you folks were staying here.
It's all right, Donald.
You know, Reba, Francis, I kinda, oh, anything else? You folks want some?
No, Donald.
Did you have a nice evening?
Yes, Donald.
Oh, that's really nice, nice. Did you have a nice dinner?
Yes, Donald.
Nice, nice. Did you have a nice ballet?
Yes, Donald. Now, could you explain Donald to your father? Could you explain Grandpa? You just couldn't, Tony. You couldn't. Something can change, but they can't.
There's only one thing you've said this entire night that's meant anything, that means everything in the world. That you love me. And besides, don't you think other families go through this kind of thing? I mean, everybody has a family.
Not like mine.
Well, they must want you to be happy. They must.
Of course they do, but they can't change. Tony wouldn't want them to change.
And they don't have to change. They are charming, lovable people, just the way that they are. You're worrying about something that may never even come up.
Tony, am I?
The only thing that matters right now is that we love each other.
Yes.
Well, anyway, I think we need to bring a little joyfulness into the room. You know, young man calling and getting engaged and everything.
What should I say?
Well, first you thank the young man for getting engaged to you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kirby, for getting engaged to me.
And then you tell him what was the first thing about him that first stole your girlish heart.
The back of your head.
Huh?
It wasn't your charm and it wasn't your money. It was the back of your head. I just liked it.
What happened when I turned around?
I got used to it after a while.
Good night, Alice. Sweet dreams.
Good night.
Say, how about you meet me in the drugstore before you go up to the office tomorrow morning? All the million things that I'm going to want to talk with you about.
All right.
And then lunch, and then dinner afterwards.
Well, Tony, what would people say?
Well, I mean, it has to come up sometime. In fact, if you know a good housetop, I'd like to go do a little shouting.
Yes, sir, Mr. DePina, we did a great night's work.
Now, what's that? 500 Black Panthers? And 300 willow trees? And 8 dozen Junior Kitty bombers?
That's pretty good. Oh, why, hello, Alice. Are you just getting in?
No, I've been over quite a while.
Did you have a nice evening?
I had a wonderful evening, Father.
Say, I want you to see this new red fire. Mr. DePina, would you please turn out the lights? I want Alice to get the full effect.
What, Father?
This new red fire, it's beautiful. There, see? Isn't that beautiful?
Yes, it's lovely. Oh, Father, it's the most beautiful red fire in the world.
All right, I said to him, you can take your old job.
I'm ready to read the new play. Anytime you are, Miss Wellington.
Just a minute, Jerry, just a minute.
Of course, I hope you don't mind me mentioning, but you don't drink while you're acting, do you, Miss Wellington? I'm just asking, of course.
I'm glad you brought it up. Once the play opens, I never touch a drop. The minute I enter the stage door, the bottle gets put away until intermission.
You've been on the stage a long time, Miss Wellington.
All my life, I've played everything. Have you ever seen Peg of My Heart?
Well, yes.
So I saw it too. My hot night out, ain't it?
You want me to cook one for you, Miss Linda?
No, the hell with the weather. Say, he's cute.
Sorry. River, she just acting. Don't take that seriously. River.
Whenever you're ready, Miss Wellington, we can go upstairs and start. I thought we could read the new play up in my room.
All right, dearie, I'm ready. When I see snakes, it's time to lay down.
The room, Miss Wellington. Oh dear. Oh dear. Miss Wellington?
She's out like a light.
Better let her sleep it off.
River, Wellington just passed out.
Did she be all right, Grandpa?
Yes, but I wouldn't cast her in the religious play.
I guess we'll just have to wait.
Penny, the next time you meet an actress on the top of a bus, I think you should send her the play instead of bringing her home to read it.
And I wish you'd stop printing and take those love dreams around. You've got to be back in time to play for me when Kolekov comes.
Oh, Kolekov coming tonight?
Yes, tomorrow night's his night, but I had to change it on account of Alice.
Oh, that's right. Big doings around here tomorrow night, huh?
She knows, I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so nervous you'd think it was me instead of Alice who was engaged. What do you suppose they'll be like? His mother and father, do you think?
Ed, what are you doing now?
Did you see the new mask I made, Penny? Guess who it is?
Oh, don't tell me, Ed. Wait a minute. Helen of Troy.
It's Mrs. Roosevelt.
You know the nice thing about these erector sets is you can build so many different things with them. Last week, it was the Empire State Building.
What is it this week?
Queen Mary.
Hasn't got the right hat on. Good luck, Ed.
Oh, Mr. DePina, would you look out front and see if there's a man standing there?
Why, what for?
Well, the last 2 nights when I've gone out to deliver candy, I think a man's been following me.
Really?
Ed, you're crazy.
No, I'm not. He follows me and he watches the house.
Well, I'll take a look and see.
I don't see what anybody would want to follow you for, Ed.
Well, there has been a lot of kidnapping going on, Grandpa.
Yes. But
There's
not
nobody
Ed.
out there.
You're sure?
Positive. I just saw him walk away.
You see?
There might have been anybody walking along the street. Now, will you go and hurry up and get back?
Right.
Oh,
Mr. Sycamore, you want to go down now and finish packing up the fireworks?
Yeah, we've got to get the stuff up to Mount Vernon in the morning.
Mother, get this paper I can borrow. I'm making a grocery list for tomorrow night.
Dear, exit pursued by a bear.
Your actress friend, is she giving a performance?
No, dear, she's not acting. She's really drunk.
Essie, dear, you're going to get Reba the kitchen tomorrow, right? Because she'll need it.
yes, Alice. Oh, I'll go start on some love dreams right now, so then I'll be way ahead.
Thank you. Mother, I'll be home at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Will you have everything in the cellar by then? The typewriter and the snakes and the printing press?
And Miss Wellington.
And Miss Wellington. That will give me enough time to arrange the table and fix the flowers.
Kirby's is certainly going to get the wrong impression of this house.
You'll do that, won't you, Mother?
Of course, dear.
I think we better have cocktails ready by 7:15, just in case they come here early. I wonder if I should let Reba cook the dinner. What do you think, Grandpa?
Oh, Alice, I wouldn't worry about it. I don't think there'd be any problem. Even if things aren't quite so elaborate tomorrow night, that's all right too.
I'm not so trying to impress them or pretend they're anything we aren't. I just want it to go well.
There's no reason why it shouldn't.
Well, yes, Alice, we're going to do everything we can to make sure it's a nice party.
My darlings, I love you. You're the most wonderful family in the world. I'm the most happiest girl in the world. I never knew anyone could be this happy. Why, this week has been like floating. Why, just seeing him, Grandpa, you don't know what it does to me.
Just seeing lunch, dinner, till 4 o'clock in the morning, and then the next day you walk into the office at 9 a.m. and there he is. Just seeing him, huh?
I don't care. I'm in love. Reba! Grandma!
Nice, isn't it? Nice seeing her so happy.
Yes. I remember when Paul and I were engaged, how happy I felt. And you know what? I still feel that way.
I know. Nice seeing Essie and Em get along so well, too.
Yes. And Reba and Donald, even though they're not married. Do you think Mr. DePenna will ever marry anybody?
Well, there's always Miss Wellington.
I do wish she'd wake up. We're going to read the book tonight. I don't know.
Mr. Sycamore, look what I found.
Oh! Why? It's the painting I made of you as a discus thrower. Look,
Yes,
Grandpa.
I remember.
Oh.
Say, Mr. DePenna, getting a little gray, aren't you?
Does it show? There must be a little color there or something.
Oh, well, it was a long time ago, Grandpa. Let's see. When I stopped painting, that was 8 years ago.
Too bad you never finished it, Mr.
I
Sycamore.
always meant to finish it, but you know, I started writing a play one day, and that was that. I never painted again.
Good thing, too. I was going to have to strip next.
Just think, that day I came to deliver the ice, that I would stay for 8 years.
The milkman was here for 5, just ahead of you.
Really? Really? Why did he leave?
He didn't leave, he died.
Yes, he was such a nice man. Remember the funeral, Grandpa? You never did know his name. It kind of hard to get a certificate.
What was the name we finally made up for him?
Mark Vanderhoff, we gave him your name.
I remember.
Yes, and it was such a nice idea because he never would have received all those flowers.
It was. Didn't hurt me any either. Haven't been bothered by any mail and haven't had a phone call from that day until this.
Yes, it was a lovely thought.
Well, Mrs. Sycamore, I really wish you'd finish that. I'd kind of like to have it.
Well, you know, I think I'll work on it right tonight.
Really?
Well, yes. Look, you run down to the cellar and put on your costume, because you know, I don't think she's going to wake up anytime soon. So you put on your costume and bring up the easel. It's still down there, isn't it?
Oh, I think so.
Oh, good. Now, where did I put my palette and brush?
Rabishka, my little Rabishka!
Hello, Mr. Kollenkoff.
Hello, Mr. Kralenko. Essie's in the kitchen.
Madam Sycamore, I greet you.
Yeah.
I say for you this stamp.
Well, thanks,
But
Kalenko.
first, tell me, what should I do about Radishka? I keep telling her she would make an excellent toe dancer, but she laughed only.
No, sir, Mr. Kollenkoff. I have hammered toes. I can't do that.
Radishka, you could wear diamonds!
I have corns.
Great work, Grandma. Wait, what is that?
That's a picture of Mr. DePenna. Penny painted it.
It stinks.
I know. Say, what do you think of that?
What is that?
She's an actress, a friend of Penny's.
Oh, stage left, you moron.
She's drunk, no?
She's drunk, yes. So how are you, Kalenkoff?
Magnificent! Life is chasing around inside me like a squirrel.
What's new in Russia? Have you?
Well,
Oh,
my friend has been sent to Siberia.
this guy? How's he like it?
He's escaped. He's escaped and gone back to Moscow. He will get them yet if they do not get him. Soviet government. I could take the whole Soviet government and...
Sorry, I'm late, Mr. Kollenkoff. We'll get my dancing clothes right away.
Oh, tonight we will really work, Pavlova. Tonight we will take something new.
Is he making any progress, Kalenkoff?
Confidentially, she stinks.
Well, as long as she's having fun.
Mr. Kollenkoff, Grandpa is laughing her head off. You sure don't make her laugh.
Oh, she's a great woman. Donald, tell me,
Yes.
what do you think of the Soviet government?
The what, Mr. Connolly?
I withdraw the question. What do you think of these governments?
Oh, I like it. They're fine. You know, I'm already.
And you like it?
Yeah, I like it. It's good. But you just have to go there like once a week to collect it. You stay like 30 minutes in the line. I think government should be run better than that. What do you think, Grandpa?
I think the government ought to stop sending me letters. I'm supposed to be at the United States Marshal's office on Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock. Look at this.
Ah, income tax! They got you, Grandpa.
They want me to give them a lot of money so they can keep Donald here on relief.
Say, Grandpa, you mean you start paying from now on?
That's what they want.
So you mean I don't need to wait on the line? I can just come here and collect it?
No, Donald, I'm afraid you're going to have to waste a whole half hour of your time every week.
Well, I don't like it. It breaks up my way.
He should have been in Russia when the revolution came. There he would have stood in line, a bread line. Oh, Grandpa, what they have done to Russia. Think of it. The Grand Duchess, Olga Katerina, cousin of the Tsar. She is the waitress in Child's restaurant. I ordered baked beans from her only yesterday. Oh, it broke my heart. It's a crazy world, Grandpa.
Oh, the world's not so crazy, Kolenkov. It's the people in it. Life is pretty simple if you just relax.
How do you relax in times like this?
Well, if everybody just relaxed, there wouldn't be times like these. That's just my point. Life is kind of beautiful if you just let it come to you. But people forget that. I know I did. I was right in the thick of it. Fighting, scratching, clawing. And then it just kind of struck me. I wasn't having any fun.
So, what did you do?
I relaxed. 35 years ago that was. I've been a happy man ever since.
Good evening, Mr. Kuznetsov.
Ah, Miss Ellis! I have not seen you yet to present my congratulations.
Thank you.
May you be very happy and have many children.
Well, that is quite a thought.
Love. Love is all that is left in the world today, Grandpa.
Yes, but there is plenty of that.
Soon Stolen will take that away too, I tell you.
Why, it's so nice to be back in my birthdays. Do they still look okay, Grandpa?
Yes, indeed.
You're a breath of Paris, Madam Sycamore.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Klinkov.
Mr. Connolly, I didn't know you're working for WPA.
No, Donald. I used to paint all the time.
It happened again. There was a man following me everywhere I went.
Oh, nonsense. That's just your imagination.
No, it isn't. It happens every time I go to deliver candy.
Maybe he wants a piece of candy.
It's okay for you to laugh, Grandpa. He follows me.
You do not know what's following me. In Russia, everyone is followed. I was followed right out of Russia.
Oh, there, yes. You see, it's all your imagination. Here we are.
Where do you want it?
Yes.
For tonight's lesson, we use the first movement of Scheherazade, okay?
Mr. McKenna, has something happened to your figure in these past 8 years?
No.
Nothing. Yes, Miss Wellington? Oh, dear. Sorry, Mr. Clank. I couldn't find my slippers.
We have a hot night for a tableau.
only achieved through perspiration.
But it helps if you have a little talent to go with it. You know, I only made 2 bullseyes the other day. I think I'm going to stick with checkers for a while.
You're ready. We begin. Now, pirouette. Pirouette. Come, you can do this. It has been 8 years now. At last. Now, undershot. Undershot. Grandma, no, you cannot relax with Stalin in Russia. This not relaxed and what happened to him?
He was too late.
I tell you, if he had not relaxed, the Grand Duchess would not be selling big dates today. Sorry. We go back to pirouette.
Mr. DePinto, can you pull in your stomach a little bit?
A little freer with the hands, yes. The whole body must work. Hey, help us with the music. The music must be free too.
Hi, Tony.
Good evening.
How do you do?
How do you do?
Are we too early?
No. Just come right in. Why, it's perfectly all right. Well,
Yes, only we thought it was tomorrow night. Tomorrow night?
What? Now, it's perfectly all right. Just make yourselves at home.
Tony, how could you possibly?
I don't know, I thought
Really, Tony, this is most embarrassing.
Not at all. Why, we weren't doing a thing.
Just a quiet evening at home.
Yes, that's all. Now don't let it bother you. This is Mrs. Sycamore, Alice's mother, and Alice's sister, Mrs. Carmichael, and Mr. Carmichael, and Mr. Kalenko, and, yes, and Mr. DePinto.
How do you do?
Don't mind the costume, I can take it off.
Go down and tell Mr. Sycamore to come right up. Tell him that Mr. and Mrs. Kirby are here. Okay. Well,
And be sure to put his pants on.
excuse me.
I'll tell Alice that you're here. Alice, dear.
What is it?
Will you come down, dear? We have a surprise for you. Well.
Mrs. Kirby, may I take your wrap?
Thank you. If you're perfectly sure that we're not.
Don't be alarmed, Mrs. Kirby. They're perfectly harmless. Dad, take them into the kitchen.
Why, yes, we're so used to having them around the house. I'm sorry, trouble you snakes.
I feel very
I don't know, Father. I thought it was for tonight. It was very careless of you. Very.
Oh, now, Mr. Kirby, anyone can get mixed up.
Penny, how about some dinner for these folks? They have come for dinner.
Oh, please don't bother.
Oh, it's not a bit of bother. Ed, tell Donald to run down to the A&P and get half a dozen bottles of beer and some canned salmon. You do like canned salmon, don't you, Mr. Kirby?
Please don't bother, Mrs. Sycamore. I have a little indigestion
Oh,
anyway.
I'm so sorry. How about you, Mrs. Kirby? Do you like canned salmon?
Oh, I'm very fond of it.
Well, we could have frankfurters if you prefer.
Will do.
Let's make it frankfurters and get some canned corn and some Campbell soup. You got that?
Okay.
And tell them to hurry. The AP is just down at the corner, and frankfurters don't take any time at all to boil.
This is Mr. Sycamore, Alice's father, Mr. and Mrs. Kirby.
How do you do?
I hope you'll forgive my appearance.
Yes, this is Mr. Sycamore's busiest time of year. Right before the 4th of July, they're always
Oh.
Darling, I am the most dull-witted person on the face of the earth. I thought that it was for tonight.
But Tony, I thought you... I'm so sorry. Haven't met each other.
Yes, indeed.
How do you do, Alice?
How do you do, Mrs. Kirby? I'm afraid I'm not very presentable.
Oh, darling, you look lovely.
Of course she does. Don't let us upset you, my dear. We've just met each other a night or sooner, that's all.
That's what I was planning such a wonderful party for tomorrow night.
We'll come again tomorrow night.
it's all right, it's all
Well, I
right.
asked him what he wanted.
Yes, but
Now, it's not as serious as all that, just because I have a little indigestion.
Maybe it is not indigestion. Maybe you have stomach ulcers.
sorry, Mr. Kalinkoff.
You mustn't mind Mr. Kalenkoff, Mr. Kirby. He's a Russian, you see, and, well, Russians are inclined to look on the dark side.
I'm tired, I am Russian, but a friend of mine, a Russian, died of stomach ulcers.
I
Mr.
don't think that
Kalinkoff, Mr. Kirby suffers from indigestion, and that is all.
All right, let him wait.
Mr. Kirby, please, sit down, make yourself comfortable.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Kirby, how do you find business conditions? Are we fairly well out of the depression?
Well, I think so. Of course, it all depends.
But you figure things will continue to get better.
Broadly speaking, yes. As a matter of fact, industry is now operating at 64% of full capacity, as opposed to 82% in 1926. Now, of course, in 1929, when everything went to
There was a young lady of Wheeling, said to her boat, I'm appealing. Her little brown jug had need of a plug, and straight away she started to peeling. Okay.
That may seem a little strange to you people, but, well, she's not really accountable for her actions. You see, a friend of Mrs. Sycamore's, and, well, she came for dinner, and, well, she was overcome by heat.
Yes, some people do feel it more than others. I think I better check on her. Excuse me.
It is awfully hot, but you usually stay all this hot weather up in Maine, don't you?
As a rule, I had to come down this week, however, for the flower show.
Oh, Mother wouldn't miss that for the world. That blue ribbon is the high spot of her whole year.
I won a ribbon in a flower show once for raising onions. You remember that, Alice?
That was a garden show, I see.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think she's going to be all right. Has Don come back yet?
No, he hasn't.
Oh, well, it won't be any time at all. And so I'm sure you must be starving.
Oh, no, quite all right. Hello, what's this? I didn't know there were little children in the house.
No, that's mine.
Really? Well, I suppose every man must have his hobby. Or do you use it as a model of some kind?
No, I just play with it.
I see.
Perhaps you'd be better off if you had a hobby like that, Father. You know, instead of raising orchids.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Do tell us all about your orchids, Mr. Kirby. You know, they take 6 years to blossom. Think about that.
Some of them take even longer. I've got one coming along now I've waited 10 years for.
Well, believe it or not, I've waited 25 years for an orchid.
Yes. During that time, they require the most scrupulous care.
Donald.
Oh, here we are. Did you get everything, Donald?
Yes, ma'am. Just that they didn't have any Frankfurters, so I got big pigs with.
Oh, okay. But never mind that. I'll just bring everything into the kitchen. Mr. Kirby, do tell them all about your orchids. And excuse me.
Kind of a expensive hobby, isn't it, Mr. Kirby, raising orchids?
Yes, it is. But I feel if a hobby gives one sufficient pleasure, it's never expensive.
Well, that's very true.
And I need something like that. After a week on Wall Street, I'd go crazy if I didn't have something. Oh, I know lots of men who have yachts for exactly that reason.
Why don't they give up Wall Street?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just joking.
I think it's necessary for everyone to have a hobby. Of course, to me it's more than a hobby, but my great solace is spiritualism.
Spiritualism? Why, Mrs. Kirby, everyone knows that's fake.
For me, Mrs. Sycamore, spiritualism is, well, I would rather not discuss it, Mrs. Sycamore.
Now, Penny, remember, you have 1 or 2 hobbies of your own.
Oh, yes, but not silly ones.
Well, I don't think it matters what the hobby is. The important thing is to have one.
To be ideal, a hobby should improve the body as well as the mind. And the Romans were a great people. Why? What was their hobby? Wrestling. In wrestling, you see, you must think quick with the mind and act quick with the body.
Yes, but wrestling isn't very practical for most of us. I wouldn't make a very good showing as a wrestler.
You would be a great wrestler. You're built for it. Look.
Where are my glasses?
Mr. Kirby, they're here, but they're broken.
I am sorry, but next time you wrestle, Mr. Kirby, you will of course not wear glasses.
I do not intend to wrestle again, Mr. Kolenkov.
Better sit down, Father.
Mr. Kolenkov, how could you do such a thing? Why didn't anybody stop him?
If you don't mind, perhaps we better be going.
Mother.
Mrs. Kirby, please don't go. And Mr. Kirby, I have to say for some scrambled eggs and plain salad. Oh, please don't go.
I'm sorry if I did something wrong, and I apologize.
Mr. Kirby, I can't tell you how sorry I am if I had been here.
That's quite all right.
Yes, of course it is, Alice. We're not leaving.
Well, that was exciting for a moment, wasn't it?
Mr. Kirby, you were speaking about your orchids. Do you raise very many different varieties?
I'm afraid I've quite forgotten about my orchids.
I'm really sorry, Mr. Kirby.
Oh, what did I do that was so terrible? I threw him on the floor. Did I kill him?
Please, Mr. Kolenkov.
I'm going to check on dinner. I'm sure it'll be any time now. Would you care for some candy while you wait, Mr. Kirby? I've got some freshly made.
My doctor does not permit me to eat candy, thank you.
Oh, but these are nothing, Mr. Kirby. Just some coconut and some marshmallow. Ooh, and fudge.
And don't, Essie.
Well, Alice.
Excuse me, what is it, Reba?
The ants fell down the sink.
Well, make some more quick.
I don't have any.
Send Donald out for some.
Oh.
And tell him to hurry. I'm sorry, but it seems that there'll be a small delay.
Whoosh.
I've certainly put you people to a lot of trouble on account of my stupidity.
Not at all, Tony.
Well, look, why don't we play a game of some sort while we're waiting?
That would be fun.
But Mother, Mr. and Mrs.
Oh,
Kirby...
I have an idea. I know a wonderful trick with a glass of water.
Oh, but I'm sure Mr. and Mrs. Kirby would love this game. It's perfectly harmless.
Mother, please.
I'm not very good at games, Mrs. Sycamore.
Oh, but any fool can play this game, Mr. Kirby. All you have to do is put your name on a piece of paper. So, here's the paper. Yes, if you would put your name on a piece of paper, Mr. Kirby and Mrs. Kirby.
But Mother, what is this game?
Oh, I used to play it in school. It's called Forget-Me-Not. Here you go, Grandpa. And now, I'm going to call out 5 words, just anything at all. And for each word that I say, you write down the first thing that comes into your head. Is that clear? For example, if I say grass, you might put down green, just anything at all. Do you see? Or, for example, I might say chair, you might put down table. It shows how you react to different things. You see how simple it is, Mr. Kirby?
Oh, come on, Father, be a sport.
Very well, I shall be happy to play.
See, Alice, he does want to play. So, is everyone ready?
Ready?
Now, remember, Mr. Kirby, you must play fair and put down the first thing that comes into your mind.
I understand.
All right, everyone ready? Here we go. The first word is potatoes. Potato. Everybody got that? The next word is bathroom.
Mother,
Everybody ready?
Go ahead.
The next word is lust.
Mother, this isn't exactly
Oh, now Alice, that word's all right.
but it's not all right, Mother.
Oh, I don't know. I'd say that's a perfectly fair word.
Now, you see? Now, don't interrupt the game, Alice.
May I have that last word again, please?
Lust, Mr. Kirby.
I got it.
This is quite a game, isn't it?
Grandpa, don't interrupt the game. Is everybody ready? The next word is honeymoon. Everybody got that? Ready for the next one? The last word is sex.
Mother.
Everybody got sex? Okay, now, everybody give me your papers. Yes, thank you, thank you. Yes, Mr. Kirby, can I have your paper? Thank
What happens
you.
now?
Now is the best part. I read out what you wrote.
I see, it's really quite an interesting game.
I knew you'd like it, Mr. Kirby. I'll read your list first. Everybody listen, this is Mr. Kirby's list. All right, let's see. Potatoes, steak. Oh, that's very good, Mr. Kirby. See how those go together? Steak and potatoes? Uh-huh.
I just happened to think of it.
Well, it's very good, yes. Bathroom, toothpaste. Well, lust, unlawful. Isn't that nice? Honeymoon, trip. Yes. Sex, male. Yes, you are, Mr. Kirby. That's a very wonderful paper, Mr. Kirby.
Thank you. It's more than just a game, you know. It's sort of an experiment in psychology.
Why, yes. It shows how your mind works. Now let's see how Mrs. Kirby's mind works. This is Mrs. Kirby's list. Potatoes, starch. Oh, I know just what you mean, Mrs. Kirby. Oh dear. Bathroom, Mr. Kirby.
Oh, no.
Bathroom, Mr. Kirby.
I don't quite follow that idea.
I just thought of you in connection with it as all, Anthony. After all, you are in there a great deal, bathing and shaving, and, well, you do take a long time.
Indeed. I hadn't realized I was being selfish in the matter. Go on, Mrs. Sycamore.
It's really a silly game. I suppose we stop it.
Yes.
No, go on.
Oh, where was I? Let's see. Lust, human.
Really, Miriam.
All I meant was that lust is, after all, a human emotion.
I do not agree with you, Miriam. Lust is not a human emotion. It is depraved.
Very well, Anthony, I know. It's surely the most pointless game. Suppose we play 20 questions.
No, I think I like this game. Please, go on, Mrs. Sycamore. What was the next word?
Honeymoon.
And what was Mrs. Kirby's response?
Honeymoon, dull.
Did you say doll?
What I meant, Anthony, was that hot springs was not very exciting that season. All those old people sitting on the porch all afternoon and nothing to do at night.
That was not your reaction at the time, as I recall it.
Father, it is just a game.
A very illuminating game. Go on, Mrs. Sycamore.
Well, this one's all right, Mr. Kirby. Sex, Wall Street.
Wall Street? What do you mean by that,
I
Mary?
don't know what I meant, Anthony, nothing.
Well, you must have meant something or you wouldn't have put it down. But what does it mean? That's Wall
Oh,
Street.
I don't know what it means, Anthony. It's just that you're always talking about Wall Street, even when we... I don't know what I meant. Would you mind terribly, Alice, if we didn't stay for dinner? I believe this game is giving me a headache.
I agree.
Yes, I think perhaps we'd best postpone this dinner tonight.
But you're coming tomorrow, right?
I'm afraid we have engagement tomorrow.
Perhaps we'd better postpone the entire affair. The hot weather and all.
I think that we're being very ungracious, Father. I think we should stay tonight.
I have a very bad headache, Tony.
Come, Tony. I'm sure everyone understands.
Well, I don't, and I think that we should stay.
No, Tony.
What?
I'm sorry, Mr. Kirby. I will be at the office tomorrow. I won't be there at all anymore.
Alice, what are you talking about?
I'm sorry, my dear. Very sorry indeed. Are you ready, Miriam?
Yes, Anthony.
Alice, you mustn't mind this.
Oh, it's been very nice to have met you all.
Yes, lovely.
Are you coming, Tony?
No, Father, I'm not.
I see. Well, your mother and I shall be waiting for you at home. Good night.
Good night. Good night.
Stay right where you are, everybody. Don't move.
Beg your pardon. What's going on there?
Keep your mouth shut, you. What is it?
This is him.
What are you doing? What do you mean?
What's your name?
Edward Carmichael. I haven't done anything.
Oh, you haven't,
This seemed rather high-handed to me. What's this?
Department of Justice.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness, Jamin! Dad, what have you done?
What is it? What's it
I
about?
haven't done anything. What's the boy done, officer?
Does that door lead to the cellar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jim,
Yes, sir.
take a look upstairs and see what you find.
All right.
Come here, you. Ever see these before?
They're my circulars.
Ah, you print this stuff, huh?
Yes, sir.
And you put them into boxes of candy to get them into people's homes.
The love dreams.
Oh, I didn't mean anything by it.
Oh, you didn't, huh? Dynamite the White House. Dynamite the Capitol. Dynamite the Supreme Court. God is the state is God.
But I didn't mean it. I just like to print. Right, Grandpa?
Yeah. This, the government has nothing to fear from Ed. Printing is just his hobby, that's all. He prints anything.
Oh, he does, huh?
I've never heard of
I refuse to stay here and listen to any more.
Shut up, you! Well, you were right, Chief. The basement is full of gunpowder with enough to blow up the entire city.
Oh, we only use that to make
Keep
the fire.
still. Everybody in this house is under arrest.
Don't make it
Stop it.
Who's that?
That is my mother.
You'll see she's not cute, but she sees things.
Will it be my fate or
For appearance in a West Side Court this morning, after spending the night in jail, the defendants, 13 and all, were brought before Judge Callahan and given suspended sentences for manufacturing fireworks without a permit.
Yes, they had me in the same cell with the stripteaser from a burlesque show.
I was in cell with Mr. Kevin. He was mad.
And Miss Kirby and the stripteaser, they were fighting all night.
A whole lot about the Kevin here. Anthony W. Kevin, head of Kevin & Co., 62 Wall Street, who was among those apprehended, claimed he was in no way interested in the manufacture of fireworks, but refused to state why he was on the premises at the time of the raid. Mr. Kevin is a member of the Union Club, the Racket Club, the Harvard Club, and the National Geographic Society. Man, he's a second as a joint.
Yeah. Those society men, they must be elks or something.
I suppose after all this, Tony ain't ever gonna marry Alice, huh?
Nope, and it's too bad too. Alice sure loves that boy.
Ever notice how rich folks keep getting themselves in trouble?
Yes, sir. Thank God we have enough.
Amen.
You know, all that food out in the kitchen, I don't know what we're going to do with it. It's not going to be a party, that's for sure.
Ain't we hungry anyhow?
Well, I fixed it, but I don't think anyone's going to have an appetite.
I'm hungry.
They're not. They're all broken up about Alice.
What is she gonna wait for? Like, where is she going?
You know, the mountain's somewhere, and I don't care what anyone says. She's going too. I know Alice when she get that look in her eye.
Too bad, ain't it?
Well, not even a balloon left.
Mr. DePena, how's your hand? Better?
Yes, it's better. Is there any olive oil out there left?
It's in the salad bowl.
Oh, well, she's going. Nothing anybody said could change her mind.
She's not gonna be gone long, is she, Miss Sycamore?
I don't know, Reba. She won't say.
Well, it sure is gonna be lonesome around here without her.
How do you feel, Miss Sycamore?
Oh, I'm all right, Donald. Just a little upset. And maybe if I do some work, I'll feel better.
Well, I won't bother you.
She's going, Penny.
Yes.
Now.
Oh, I just can't help it, Paul. I just feel like it's all our fault.
It's more mine than yours. All this time I've been going around just enjoying myself when maybe I should have been thinking more about Alice.
Oh, don't say that, Paul. You've been a wonderful husband and father and both.
No, I haven't. Maybe if I'd gone on to become an architect or something Alice could have been more proud of. I thought about that all night after seeing Mr. Kirby.
But we've been so happy, Paul.
I know, but maybe it's not enough. I used to think so, but now I'm all mixed up.
When is she leaving?
Soon, her train leaves at 7:30.
Oh, if only she would talk to Tony. I'm sure he could convince her.
She won't, Penny. He's been trying all day.
Well, where is he now?
Oh, maybe walking around the block again. Anyhow, she won't talk to him.
Well, maybe he could catch her as she's leaving.
It won't help, Penny.
No, I suppose not. Oh, Grandpa.
Now, Penny, leave the girl alone.
Oh, but Grandpa.
Suppose she goes to the Adirondacks. We'll be back. A person can only stay in the Adirondacks so long and then you come home.
But it's just so terrible, Grandpa.
In a way, but it does have its bright side.
How do you think?
Well, for one thing, watching Mr. Kirby get put into that police wagon, and then the expression on his face when they told him he had to take a bath with Donald, I don't think I'll forget that if I live to be 100. And I'm warning you people, I intend to if I have things like that going on.
It was even worse with Mrs. Kirby. When the matron stripped her, there was a burlesque dancer there, and she kept singing the strip song as Mrs. Kirby undressed. Dun, 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 dun.
I'll bet Bar Harbor is going to seem pretty dull to the Kirbys this summer. You need any help, Alice?
No, I'm just gonna go to the kitchen to press some dresses.
Alice,
Now, Penny,
I'll bring the blue bag down as soon as you're ready, Alice.
Thank you.
would you like to take some candy along for the train out?
No thanks.
Alice, you could be just as alone here as in the mountains. You could stay up in your room the whole time.
No, Mother, I want to be by myself, away from everything. You know I love you all dearly. It's just, I need some time to myself. Father, could you call for the cab?
No, I didn't know you wanted one.
Oh, I told Mr. DePena to tell you. Didn't he tell you?
Oh, he told me. But I forgot.
Oh, I wish I lived in a family that didn't always forget everything, that behaved the way other people's families do. I'm sick of snakes and cornflakes. Why can't we be like everybody else? And roast beef and 2 green vegetables and doilies on the table and a place you can bring your friends to without...
I'll see if I can do anything.
Thanks. Alice, would you talk to me?
Tony, it's no use.
Come on, you're not being fair. At least let me talk to you.
Where'd they go?
Upstairs.
She ran right out the second he came in.
Knock the olive oil right out of my hand. I'm gonna smell fishy now.
Feeling any better, Mr. DePinna? That hand still hurting you?
No, it's better.
Everything blew up, huh? Downstairs?
Everything. Even my Roman costume.
See? I told you there was a bright side to everything. Well, except those 23 years of back income tax. I get another letter every day.
What are you gonna do about that, Grandpa?
Well, I kind of had an idea yesterday. May not work, but I'm trying it anyhow.
What is it?
Well,
Good evening, everybody.
oh,
Why, Mr.
hello,
Kalenko?
Blankoff.
Forgive me, the door was open.
Well, come on in.
You'll excuse my coming today. I realize you are upset.
Oh, it's okay, Mr. Kalenko. I don't think I can take a lesson today, Mr. Kalenko. I'm not feeling up to it.
Well,
But do stay to dinner, Mr. Kalenko. We have all that food out there, and somebody's got to eat it.
I would be happy to,
Oh,
Madam Senior. Thank you. Now, I wonder if I know all of you well enough to ask a great favor.
Of course, Mr. Kalenko. What is it?
You've heard me talk about my friend, Grand Duchess Olga Katrina.
Yes.
Great woman, the Grand Duchess. Her cousin was the Tsar of Russia, and now she is waitress in Child Restaurant Times Square.
Yes. How can we help?
I tell you, the Grand Duchess has not had a good meal since before the Revolution.
She must be hungry.
And today is not only her day off, their day, but it is also the anniversary of Peter the Great, a remarkable man.
Why, Mr. Kalenko, if you're asking if the Grand Duchess can come here for dinner, why, we'd be honored. Oh, yes.
In the name of the Grand Duchess, I thank you.
I'm so excited to meet her. Oh, where is she?
Oh, she's outside in the street waiting.
And straighten your tie, and see your dress. Do I look okay?
You know, I can have things like this going on. I want to live to be 150.
The Grand Duchess, Olga Katrina. Your Highness, allow me to present Madam Sycamore. Madam Carmichael. Grandpa.
Madam?
Mr. Carmichael, Mr. Sycamore, and Mr. Pina.
Mr. DePinna.
Won't you be seated, Your Highness?
Thank you. You're most kind.
We are honored to receive you, Your Highness.
I am most happy to be here. How soon is dinner?
Oh, very soon, Your Highness. Very soon.
Good. I do not mean to be rude, but I must be back at the restaurant by 8 o'clock. I am substituting for another waitress.
I will make certain you are on time, Your Highness.
No, thank you.
Your Highness, I think you waited on me at Child's once, the 72nd Street place.
No. That was my sister.
Grand Duchess Natasha.
I work at Times Square.
Quite a lot of your folks living over here now, aren't there?
Yes, many. My uncle, the Grand Duke Sergei, is elevator man at Macy's. Very nice man. And then there's my cousin, Prince Alexis. He does not speak to the rest of us because he works at Hattie Carnegie. He is in ladies' underwear.
When he was selling hot dogs at Coney Island, he was willing to talk to you.
Count our time is coming. My sister, Natasha, is studying to be manicurist. Uncle Sergei, they have promised to make floor walker, and in June, I am transferred to the 5th Avenue Childs. From there, it's only a step to Shraff's. And then we will see what Prince Alexis says.
I think you've got it.
Oh, you are telling me.
Your Highness, did you know the Tsar, personally?
Of course. He was my cousin. It was terrible what happened. But perhaps it was not so bad after all. I mean, where would he get a job now?
That is true.
Would you excuse me for a moment?
Duchess, is it true what they say about Rasputin?
Everyone wants to know about Rasputin. Yes, my dear sir, it is true. And how?
Your Highness, we have to watch the time.
Yes, I must not be late. My manager does not like me. He is communist.
Well, we'll try to hurry things along, and why don't you run out the kitchen and see if you can help Reba?
Oh, I will help too. I am a very good cook.
Oh, not on your day off, Your Highness.
I do not mind. Where is your kitchen?
Well, it's right through here, but you're the guest of honor, Your Highness.
Oh, but I love to cook. Come on. If they have sour cream and potted cheese, I will make you some incense.
Oh, princess of Pavlova, we are going to show you something.
Say, the Duchess is all right. Duchess, can I help?
She has a wonderful face for a mask, doesn't she?
She's a very nice lady, considering she's a Grand Duchess.
Wonderful what some people go through, isn't it? And still keep a positive attitude.
Yes, she almost made me forget about things for a moment.
I suppose I better call for that cab.
Oh, no, Paul, here, get it up. I hope Tony got it first. Ed, can you bring it back?
Don't do it, Ed.
Ed, please.
Don't do it, Ed.
Ed, please.
Do it. Fine, go ahead. You know, you have the most stubborn daughter in all 48 states.
That must be a cab.
Oh, if it is, it's certainly wonderful service.
Is Tony here, Alice?
Yes, he is. Please come in, Mr. Kirby.
How do you do?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Forgive the intrusion. Tony, I want you to come home with me. Your mother is very upset.
All right, Father. Goodbye, Alice.
Goodbye, Tony.
I need hardly say that this is as painful for Mrs. Kirby and myself as it is for you people. I'm sorry, but I'm sure you understand.
Well, yes, but in a way, no. Now, I'm not the kind of man that tries to run other people's lives. But the fact is, Mr. Kirby, I don't think these two young people have as much sense as you and I might have.
Grandpa, will you please not do this?
I'm just talking to Mr. Kirby. Cat can look at a king, can't he?
Do you want me to help you with that, Alice?
No, thanks, Mother.
You've got a little while before your train leaves, Alice.
Will you send a cab to 761 Claremont right away, please? That's right. Thank you.
Alice.
Mother.
Are you ready, Tony?
Mr. Kirby, I suppose after last night, do you think this family is kind of crazy?
No, I would not say that. Although I'm not accustomed to going out to dinner and spending the night in jail.
Well, now you have to remember that you did come on the wrong night. Now, I'll bet that tonight nothing much will happen at all. Maybe.
Mr. Vanderhoff, it was not merely last evening that convinced Mrs. Kirby and myself that this engagement would be unwise.
Father, I can handle my own affairs. Alice, for the last time, please, will you marry me?
No, Tony. I know exactly what your father means, and he's right.
No, he isn't.
Alice, You're in love with this boy. And you're not going to marry him because of the kind of people that we are?
Grandpa.
I know, you think that the two families might not get along. Well, maybe they wouldn't. But who's to say they're right and we're wrong?
I didn't say that, I just feel.
Well, what I feel is that Tony is too nice a boy to wake up 20 years from now with nothing more in his life than stocks and bonds.
How's that?
Yes. Yes. Mixed up and unhappy. The way you are.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Vanderhoff, but I am a very happy man!
Are you?
Certainly I am.
I don't think so. Where do you think all that indigestion comes from? Happiness? No, sir. It comes from you having spent so much of your time doing things that you don't want to do.
I don't do anything I don't want to do.
Oh, yes, you do. Just last night you were telling us how after a week on Wall Street, you were pretty near crazy. Why do you keep on doing it?
Why do I keep on? Well, it's my business. A man can't give up his business.
Why not? You got all the money you need. You know, you can't take it with you.
That's a very easy thing to say, Mr. Vanderhoff, but I've spent my entire life building up my business.
And what has it got you? Same kind of mail every morning, same kind of deals, same kind of meetings, same dinners at night, same indigestion. When does the fun come in? Don't you think there ought to be something more, Mr. Kirby? You must have wanted more than that when you first started out. We haven't got a lot of time, you know. Any of us.
What do you expect me to do? Live the way you do nothing.
Well, have a lot of fun. Time enough for everything. Walk, read, go to the zoo now and then, practice my darts. I even have time to notice when spring comes around. And I don't have to see anybody that I don't want to. And I don't have 6 hours of things that I have to do every day before I get 1 hour to do the things I like. And I haven't taken bicarbonate of soda for 35 years. What's the matter with that?
What's the matter with it? Suppose we all do. A fine world we have, everyone going to zoos. Don't be ridiculous, Mr. Vanderhoff. Who would do the work?
Oh, there's always people who want to do the work. Can't stop them. Inventions, they fly the ocean. And there's always people that want to go down to Wall Street because they like it. From what I've seen of you, I don't think you're one of them. I think you're missing something.
I'm not aware of missing anything.
Neither was I until I quit. I used to get to that office at 9 a.m. sharp no matter how I felt. Laid awake nights, too, for fear I wouldn't get the contract. Worried about the world. Got all worked up about whether Blaine or Cleveland would get elected president. Seemed like a big deal at the time, but who cares now? What I'm trying to say, Mr. Kirby, is that I've had 35 years that no one can take away from me no matter what they do to the world. You see?
Yes, I do see. And it's a very dangerous philosophy, Mr. Vanderhoff. It's un-American, and it's exactly why I'm opposed to this marriage. I don't want Tony to come under its influence.
What's the matter with it, Father?
What's the matter with it? Why, it's downright communism, that's what it is.
You didn't always think so.
What are you talking about? Of course I did.
I'll tell you exactly what I'm talking about. Because there was a time that you wanted to be a trapeze artist.
Don't be
Yes, you did. I read those letters that you wrote to grandfather. Do you remember those?
No! How dare you read those letters? How dare you?
Mr. Kirby, that's wonderful. Did you wear tights?
The whole thing is absurd. I was 14 years old at the time.
Yes, but at 18, you wanted to be a saxophone player.
Tommy?
And at 21, you ran away from home because grandfather wanted you to go to the family business. It's all there in black and white. You didn't always think so.
Well.
I may have had some silly notions in my youth, but thank God my father knocked them out of me. I went into the business and forgot about them.
Not altogether. There's still a saxophone in the back of your clothes closet.
There is.
We'll talk about this later.
No, I want to talk about it now. I think Mr. Vanderhoff is right. Dead right. I'm never going back to that office. I've always hated it, and I'm not going on with it anymore. And I'll tell you something else. I didn't make a mistake last night. I brought you here on the wrong night on purpose!
Oh, for goodness sake!
Because I wanted you to wake up. I wanted you to see a real family. A family that really loved and understood each other. You don't understand me. You never had the time. Well, I'm not making your mistake. I'm clearing out.
Clearing out? What do you mean?
I mean, I'm not going into the business just because I'm your son. I'm getting out while there's still time.
But Tony, what will you do?
I don't know. Maybe I'll be a bricklayer, but at least I'll be doing something I want to do.
Oh, that was a cab.
Ed, tell him to wait a minute.
Grandpa.
Do you mind, Alice? You know, Tony's just going through what you and I did when we were his age. I think if you listen hard enough, you can hear yourself saying the same things to your father all those years ago. We all did it, and we were right. All those plans we made, what happens to them? It's only a handful of the lucky ones that ever come close. So, before they clean out that closet, Mr. Kirby, I think I'd play a few good long hours on that saxophone.
I beg your pardon. Before I make the glimpses, how many will there be?
Your Highness, may I introduce Mr. Anthony Kirby and Mr. Kirby Jr., the Grand Duchess, Olga Katrina.
How's that?
How do you do? Before I make the glimpses, how many will there be to dinner?
Oh, I think you ought to make a whole stack of them, Your Highness. Can't ever tell.
Oh, good. The Tsar, he always said to me, Olga, you're not to be stingy with the glimpses.
Excuse me, Mr. Vanderhoff, who did you say that was?
The Grand Duchess Olga Katrina. She's cooking dinner.
Oh.
Speaking of dinner, why don't you and Tony both stay?
Oh, please do, Mr. Kirby. We have all that food that we were going to have yesterday. Today.
It looks like a wonderful dinner, and will give you and I a better chance to get better acquainted. Why don't you both stay?
How about it, Father? Are we staying for dinner?
If you'd care to, Tony, I'd like to very much.
And if Alice would send away that cab, Mr. Vanderhoff?
How about it, Alice? Looks like it's going to be a nice crowd. Don't you think you ought to stay for dinner?
I'm staying, Alice. Don't you think the families ought to get to know each other?
Mr. Kirby. Tony. Grandpa, you're wonderful.
I know. I've been telling you that for years.
Grandpa, here's a letter for you. It was in the icebox.
Let's see. Oh, another one from the government.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Kirby?
How do you do? I'm trying to tell that cab to go.
Well.
What's it?
Well, the United States government apologizes. Yeah. What? Why, they say I don't owe them a nickel. Seems I died 8 years ago.
What do they mean, Grandpa?
Well, you remember the milkman that was buried under my name?
Yes.
Well, I just told them that my name was Martin Vanderhoff Jr., and they say they're very sorry. And I might even get a refund.
Grandpa, you're an old crook.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me, Mr. Vanderhoff, how did you say that you avoided the income tax?
My friends, you are going to eat.
Well, hello there!
How do you do?
Fine, good to see you.
What has happened?
He's relaxing. That's right, Ed. Play something.
Everything is almost ready. You may sit down.
Come to dinner, everyone. Mr. Kirby, come to dinner.
Yes,
As we stop dancing, come to dinner.
You will like Russian food, Mr. Kirby.
Oh, yes, but you must be careful of your indigestion.
Nonsense, I haven't any indigestion.
to thank you again for everything you've done for us. Seems everything is just fine. We're going to have a marriage, and it looks like the happy couple is going to be just fine as well. Of course, all the fireworks did get blown up, but that was Mr. DePinda's fault, not yours. We all have our health, and as far as anything else is concerned, we'll leave you to it. Thank you.
Oh.
Do you like this? Mr. Kirby, I got a new mazurka.
I wrote a song just for it.
Mr. Kirby, what do you think about the Securities Commission?
Well, Miss Sycamore, how was your trip to the Adirondacks?
Cut your face, Mr. Kirby.
Mr. DePinda, we need to start talking about next year's fireworks.
You're right.
I do okay?
Great audience. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we didn't, nobody died.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just looking around. We drive off.
It just kept rolling. It was rolling just slow enough.
So where were you?
I'm sitting up there in the third row and I heard at least hit 2.
Yeah, no,
At
I
least
was
hit 3 steps. So
So you think it's down here somewhere? I can't see. Come on, you can wait.
oh yeah, I think it went that way.
Okay, let's start pulling it up.
Real question.
I think it went under the curtain.
Bye.
Yeah. Thank you. I enjoyed myself.
Yes, you're very welcome.
Hope everything works out for you.
Yeah, I heard it.
Very good. Every day's a new day.
Found it. Under the bleacher thing. Yeah.
VA's gonna
Not
make sure.
super far. It's like.
Do you need some help over there? Did you miss
Row.
something? What do you need?
Did you hear that noise in the middle of the show?
Yeah?
That was us.
Oh, what happened?
My tin of Carmax, which is my chapstick, it's not.
So it's where? It's underneath the platform? Okay.
We're going to need.
I can see. Where do you look? What are you looking for?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
So it's,
I see myself.
So, do you have a shot before?
What'd you say?
Do you have a shot before you go?
You think like a broom
Just saying,
can reach
reach
out?
out.
Okay, I got it right here.
No. I'm not a drinker. They lost something.
Oh, okay. Have a good night.
I had to go out a little bit last weekend.
Okay.
Hey, what do you say?
You know what? No.
It's like that.
I enjoy what you did very
How
much.
about something like that? Would that work?
You found your way out.
Want me to hold a flashlight? I think I got it. The trick is, yeah, that. So get that angle. Put it under there.
Well, thank you for helping.
welcome. Are you, Angie?
Yes.
I'm Mary Weeks with SpongeBob.
Okay.
So you offer to do some sewing or alterations?
I can
That's
help.
great. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
So is Carol working on that?
no.
No.
So it is little Margaret Rogers. She's 17 years old.
Okay.
She's an FHA, just a fabulous kid.
Okay.
And she's taking the lead, but we told her you're available for sewing and alterations, no shopping, no nothing. She said, that's okay, I love to shop.
Okay.
So first timer,
She got my number then?
we'll pass it along.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because Cassie contacted me, we're both
Yeah.
producers together, so.
Okay, terrific.
Yeah.
And Cassie's Cat's mom.
Yes,
Is that right?
Kathy
Okay.
and Cody are gonna be in it now.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Is it working?
Very slowly.
Okay. How about, do you need some tape on it? Oh, you got it?
All right.
So loud.
I was gonna say, we could put some tape on the end of the stick.
Right.
You are innovative. On the spot.
That's right, we gotta just solve problems quickly in theater.
Well, if you can jot down for Scott.
Okay.
For me, just when the show days are, so I can make sure I kind of have it mapped out on my
Okay,
calendar.
it's the third weekend in July,
Okay.
so like Anastasia's like the 17th, we're the next weekend after that, but yeah, we'll jot it all down for
Okay.
you, or I'll
Yeah,
text you.
because I'm going to Utah for sure in there.
Okay.
So
Yep.
make sure that,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea what she's planning, but you know, she just is
If I
so
can assist,
excited.
I will.
Yes. Okay, thank you so much.
Margaret Rogers is old enough to be
Margaret,
the
yes,
master.
she's so great.
She's John Paul's sister.
That's crazy. That's also an
Okay, just wanted to come by and say.
Yeah, you see it there? It's
Oh,
you.
man.
Hey, did you guys, Mary?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you, Carol was saying they were still looking for actors. Did they manage to get it?
For Anastasia? I think they did.
Okay.
I think they did.
No.
Can you throw me my dress? Thank you. Oh, and my phone.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what we did too. And then Cheryl came with me tonight. She said, well, there's an extra practice. I'm like, oh, good. What is it? She's like,
No.
which would have been fine except for all this tracking got canceled because of the storms. And now it's Monday, so I can't go. It's like, dang it.
Come see us, man. Hey, good job.
But we'll get there. Yeah.
It was very loud.
It's dramatic. It wasn't even just like a fact. It was a
I saw it last night. Nice. Yeah, you know. Sneaky.
Oh, you got the blood.
I love it. All right, you guys have a good night.
All right, good night.
See you Sunday.
See you Sunday. Sunday fun day.
You're in glitter duty tonight? Oh, thank you for that. Look at it now. By the way, we're not experiencing this party.
Oh, I like that cute little. You should get a car then. I know.
But I don't get to see Kim at all. Well, I'm gonna try.
Saturday.
She's heavily involved in getting the show.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, we'll see, but I kind of have.
That was tinseled in my
Yeah.
typewriter.